Ah, hello there. Apologies, it seems you've caught me in the middle of something. I know you're pointing a gun at me, but could you perhaps give me a second to finish? I was very nearly done with what I was doing, and... Alright, I'm stepping away. How have you been, might I ask? It has been quite a while since we met, and I have to admit I've been curious as to what you've been up to. Of course, I know it's you. You are the agent I interrogated back at the Arctic Missile Facility. Even though you were in a guard uniform when we met, it's impossible not to recognize that posture. The posture of a fully trained killer, just like myself. Funny, this time I'm the one in the guard uniform typing on the console, and you're the one holding the pistol. Strange how that works out. Did you recognize me beneath this gear? Is that why you went out of your way to hold me up like this? I thought so. Don't worry, I'm not offended. Aiming guns at one another is just a spy way of saying hello. I don't think I haven't noticed that your finger isn't actually on the trigger. You have no intention of actually shooting me, do you? Ah, okay. Perhaps I don't have quite as much of a read on you as I thought. It's a good thing you knocked out all the guards in this area. Otherwise, they'd no doubt be swarming us this very second. Before we get started in whatever this is, I have to say it is lovely to see you again. I knew you'd escape those cuffs I bound you in, but I was still worried. Our conversation back at the facility was the most human interaction I've had in a very long time, and I would have hated for you to get captured or killed. Now, it seems you are planning on interrogating me, aren't you? Isn't that lovely and poetic? Go ahead, ask me your questions. Huh. Not the question I was expecting, I'll admit. Though, I suppose I could ask you why you aren't in one, couldn't I? It seems we've rubbed off on each other. The security in this facility is much tighter than the one we previously met in, and given that it's owned by the same terrorist group, I thought a change in tactics might be in order. Plus, perhaps I wanted to prove to myself that I could do what you do, And what about you? What compelled you to climb through the air vents and knock out guards? That didn't exactly seem like something you were too interested in last time. I thought so. It seems we're of a similar mindset. Great minds think alike, as they say. Could I perhaps ask you a question now, since I answered yours so swiftly? Oh? Never mind that. If you're not finished, then please, ask away. Though I don't recall being quite this aggressive with you when I interrogated you. Come now, the concussion doesn't count. You were trying to escape. I wouldn't have hurt you otherwise. But go ahead. Time is wasting, and I am curious about what you're going to ask. Would you look at that? That was what I wanted to ask you as well. Though again, like I said last time, we really can't trust a word that comes out of each other's lips, can we? Even though I was being honest the last time we met. And you know I was, because those nukes didn't end up firing at a single target. Who's to say I'm being honest now? It's all a part of the game. It's what keeps things fun and fresh. I can't trust you. You can't trust me. But I promise, you can trust me this time. What I am telling you is the truth. Unless it isn't. It's really up to you to decide. My motivations are the same as last time. This facility has nukes, and I am here to disarm them. Since we met, I have successfully disabled 3 other of Jericho's facilities. I'd say the government needs to do a better job of stopping these people from getting nukes. But then again, that's what I'm for, isn't it? Or should I say, what we are for. Oh yes, I've looked you up. My information is the best, after all. I had some of my informants fill me in on your background, your exploits, the spy equivalent of a scroll through your date's social media feed. I was impressed with you when we met, and even more so after seeing what you've done. All those missions and you didn't get captured once. Until we met. You have quite the reputation, and I'm surprised I hadn't heard of you before. It's actually that reputation which makes me confident that you're not going to shoot me. And why, in fact, I believe we're actually on the same side. And all of this is just a bit of theatrics on your part. A little bit of fun, if you will. So, my friend, before this all gets tiresome, which it's already dangerously close to being, either shoot me, or lower your weapon, and let's move this plot along. Lovely. Let me guess. As I predicted, our two organizations have the same motive, don't they? Just like they did the last time. I hope you still got paid for that, by the way. Ah, you looked me up as well. Did you like what you saw? Very good. I'm glad we're on the same page for once. I'm certainly glad that you haven't shot me yet. Typically everyone I meet in the field tries to kill me, so you are a very welcome change of pace. Speaking of pace, however, I do believe we need to wrap this up. So, if you'll just give me a moment. Apologies if that startled you. The console, as I mentioned, they'd increased the security. Despite my best attempts, I couldn't quite crack it, and the missiles were about to launch. Thankfully, though, the missiles can't launch if the console isn't working. Now can they? Yes, I had noticed that. An unfortunate downside to the console's malfunction. But I think we'd both rather get shot at over some poor country getting wiped out, wouldn't we? That being said, though, I think we shouldn't leave before said shooting begins. I'll sneak out the way I came. You clamber through the air vents and... Oh. Very well then. It'll be nice to have someone watching my back for a change. Come along. We need to get going before the goon squad shows up. And do move quickly. I'd hate to have to leave you behind. There. That wasn't too bad now, was it? They didn't even see us. I have to say, despite the physical demands of this career, that sprint was very unpleasant. A lot of my job is actually just waiting for the perfect opportunity to move, or to knock somebody out. Running doesn't really come into it very often. But anyways, take a look at that. See those jets? Bombers. They're moving in to destroy the facility now that the nukes are disarmed. And simultaneously, there are other agents at other facilities doing the same thing we just did. A perfectly planned, coordinated strike. Hopefully without multiple agents from multiple organizations bumping into each other like we did. But you know what that means? You and I just saved the world, my friend. Always nice when that ends up happening, isn't it? A rare occurrence, but a good one. You know what else is good? I could turn my back to you, and not wonder if I'm going to find a knife stuck in it. Do you know how rare that is in this line of work? When it's not just us that we can rely on? It's exceptionally rare. But I suppose this is the end of our little... whatever you want to call this. The world is so big that I doubt we'll ever meet again for a third time. Unless... Might I ask who you work for? FBI? CIA? Oh, I see. You're a mercenary. An independent contractor. which surely means that whatever job you've been contracted on should be over once you return. So, maybe I could get you to work for my organization? The pay's good, the support is excellent, and the work lets you sleep at night, which is always a plus. What do you say? Want to work with someone you can trust for a change, rather than on your own? Oh yes, I completely understand. You'll need to return to your employer before you can even start thinking about any more work. But if you are interested, here's how you can contact me. It's a bit complicated, but that's just how it is in this game, isn't it? I suppose then this will be us splitting up, won't it? At least for now. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm very glad I didn't have to give you a concussion this time. Of course I remember saying that. Why do you bring it up now? Oh? And whatever could that be? Oh, that's... That was a lovely farewell, my friend. I think I'll enjoy working with you. Until then, though, goodbye, and stay safe.